Air purifiers have quickly become a commonplace household appliance, especially in countries with high levels of air pollution. Sales of air purifiers in India has quickly grown from almost nothing to over 24 million in the past few years, at a rate of 45% compound annual growth rate. Even though the sales of air purifiers have seen such a staggering growth rate, air purifiers are not exactly cheap, costing anything from $200 to a whopping $1,500. With people willing to pay such amounts for an air purifier, it would be interesting to find out if air purifiers are indeed as effective as they are made out to be. Are air purifiers truly beneficial for health? Do they possibly pose any health issues? How do they even work anyway? These are some questions that we will attempt to answer in our video presentation. So what are air purifiers? Air purifiers are indoor devices that cleanse the air to provide quality, uncontaminated air. Air purifiers remove impurities such as dust particles, including PM2.5 particles, the tiny particulate matter that causes the most damage to human health, pollen, smoke, and other airborne irritants. Some companies even claim that their air purifiers help to reduce allergic reactions and asthma attacks. But let us examine how they work for ourselves. In general, there are 5 types of air purifiers. However, in reality, companies combine several types of air purifiers into one device. Let's break down the air purifier into each individual technology. The high-efficiency particulate air filter, which is called the HEPA filter, activated carbon, ultraviolet UV, ozone, and ionizer. Let's briefly go through these 5 technologies. First, we have the HEPA filter. HEPA filter consists of a fine fiber-like material such as borosilicate glass fibers. As air is sucked into the air purifier system, it passes through a HEPA filter that can trap up to 99.97% of particles that are larger than 0.3 microns, like dust. To achieve cleaner air by improving the efficiency of the filter, the number of times an airflow passes through the filter is increased. HEPA filter mainly filters dust particles from air, which can cause irritation to eyes and lungs. Other than dust particles, there are other pollutants such as odors, organic chemicals, and even tobacco smoke, in which HEPA filters are unable to remove. This will bring us to the next technology, the activated carbon. Activated carbon is good for people who are sensitive to scented products like pesticides, perfume, and paint. Activated carbon uses charcoal that comprises of millions of tiny pores to capture chemical pollutants through adsorption, a process by which molecules are attracted to a solid surface. We have removed dust, smoke, organic chemical, and odor. How about bacteria, viruses, and germs? Here comes our third technology, the ultraviolet. Ultraviolet technology radiates UV rays to kill microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, and germs. To improve the efficiency of UV technology, the exposure time of UV light on contaminated air is increased.
Next, the ozone technology. Ozone is made out of 3 oxygen atoms. To produce ozone, oxygen molecules go through either coronal discharge or ultraviolet radiation. Coronal discharge is the splitting of oxygen molecules into oxygen atoms by means of high voltage. Ultraviolet radiation does this by using UV ray instead. The energy from UV light rays is being transmitted to the oxygen molecules, which causes it to split. The oxygen atom then combines with an oxygen molecule to form ozone, where it is discharged into the surrounding. Ozone has the ability to purify air due to its strong oxidant characteristics. The top oxygen molecule is rather unstable and easily attaches itself to the pollutants. It can attach to high odor pollutants, bacteria, organic matter, mold, spores, and viruses. The substance will then be destroyed once the oxygen atom attaches itself to it. Moving on to our last technology, the ionizer. Ionizer simply uses electromagnetic charge to add or remove electrons from oxygen to create positive and negative charge ions. The negative ions, for example, oxygen that have gained an electron, will attract the positively charged ions, for example, the dust and pet dander, by means of electrostatic attractions. As a result, a larger particle is formed and captured on an electrically charged collection plate. But the question is, are air purifiers good for health? Let's find out the disadvantages of each technology. For the HEPA filter, as the HEPA filter only filters the air, they do not kill pathogens, viruses, and microorganisms which are smaller than 0.01 microns. These contaminants left in the air will certainly bring harm to our health. Moving on to activated carbon. They are ineffective in removing dust particles and other allergens as well as for absorbing microorganisms. Next, ultraviolet technology. UV light requires long exposure time to kill bacteria. Hence, UV technology is not very effective as the air passes through the air purifier too quickly for the UV light to have enough time to kill any bacteria. Lastly, ionizer and ozone technology emits ozone. Ozone is a colorless, unstable gas and toxic which is harmful to us. People with asthma or other health conditions may experience intensified symptoms of those conditions due to ozone exposure. Air purifiers sounds great. Dr. Norman Elderman, Chief Medical Officer for the American Lung Association, agreed that air cleaners may be effective in some cases. Air purifiers can greatly help people that have problems with allergens in the air. Experts also say air purifiers can help filter the air, especially when there is considerable smoke in the air. Such devices can be particularly useful if you are living with a smoker. Some air purifiers are even advertised to produce fresh air smell. Little do we know this smell actually comes from the harmful ozone molecule. Ozone molecules are considered irritants by the American Lung Association. Even relatively low amounts of the molecule can cause chest pain, coughing, shortness of breath, and throat irritation. Ozone can also be detrimental to chronic respiratory disease like asthma.
The efficiency of air purifiers also drops significantly when the filters are dirty and can cause users to develop significant breathing problems while having a false sense of security that the air purifiers are actually helping. Should there be more control? Well, there are current policies in place to regulate air purifiers. US Food and Drug Administration has a guideline limit of 0.5 ppm of ozone production. In a way, it helps to mitigate the harmful effects of ozone. But is it enough? Well, we don't think so. We think there needs to be more transparency on air purifiers, and consumers should be empowered with more information for them to decide. Currently, the only main reason for consumers to not buy air purifiers would be the price. We need more than just monetary concerns to help consumers decide. We feel the need for safety labels just as air conditioners have efficiency labels. Perhaps even different tiers of safety labels for products that produce levels of ozones. Safety labels could be indicators for consumers to know which air purifiers are actually safer for their own use. For consumers with asthma or with allergic reactions, we could have doctors recommend suitable models of air purifiers for their patients, since they have better knowledge on this subject matter. Finally, we feel the need for a certified salesperson for air purifiers. Since the main problem is that consumers don't have enough information to make informed choices, a certified salesperson can help bridge the gap. They would be equipped with enough information to help consumers make their decision. With these suggestions, we feel that consumers would be able to make more informed choices on their air purifiers. In conclusion, experts actually recommend trying a unit in the bedroom and observing if the allergy gets better. we can try to remove some components of the air purifier to reduce the harmful impacts. But by doing so, we are actually reducing the effectiveness of the air purifier to cleanse the air. Perhaps we could have air purifiers that have specific air filters that remove specific contaminants in the air to suit the specific needs of the consumers depending on their living conditions. For example, in Singapore, we could use air purifiers with HEPA filters or activated carbon to only remove the pollutants from cars. The air purifier industry has lots of room to grow, and we can only wait and see where further research takes us. Perhaps the way to go would be working to reduce contaminants that we produce from vehicles and other sources. Who knows? Only the future will tell.